Tina Louise is an American actress, singer, and author. She is best known for her role as the movie star Ginger Grant on the situation comedy, Gilligan's Island. Early life: Tina Blacker was born in New York City to a Jewish family. An only child, she was raised by her mother, Betty Horn Myers, a fashion model. Tina's father, Joseph Blacker, was a candy store owner in Brooklyn and later an accountant. The name Louise was allegedly added during her senior year in high school when she mentioned to her drama teacher that she was the only girl in the class without a middle name. He selected the name Louise, and it stuck. She attended Miami University in Ohio. Career: early work: at the early age of just 2 years, Tina got her first role, after being seen in an ad for her father's candy store. She played numerous roles until she decided it was best to focus on schoolwork. By the age of 17, Louise began studying acting, singing and dancing. She studied acting under Sanford Meisner at the prestigious neighborhood playhouse in Manhattan. During her early acting years, she was offered modeling jobs, including as a rising starlet, who along with Jane Mansfield, was a product advocate in the 1958 Fredericks of Hollywood catalog, and appeared on the cover of several pin-up magazines such as Adam, Sir, and Modern Man. Her later pictorials for Playboy were arranged by Columbia Pictures Studio in an effort to further promote the young actress. Her acting debut came in 1952 in the Bette Davis musical Revue 2's Company, followed by roles in other Broadway productions, such as John Murray Anderson's Almanac, The Fifth Season, and Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter? She appeared in such early live television dramas as Studio One, Producers Showcase, and Appointment with Adventure. In 1957, she appeared on Broadway in the hit musical Lyle Abner. Her album, It's Time for Tina, was released that year, with songs such as Embraceable You, and I'm in the Mood for Love. Hollywood and Gilligan's Island: Louise made her Hollywood film debut in 1958 in God's Little Acre. That same year, the National Art Council named her the world's most beautiful redhead. She became an in-demand leading lady for major stars like Robert Taylor, Richard Widmark and Robert Ryan, often playing somber roles quite unlike the glamorous pin-up photographs in Playboy pictorials she had become famous for in the late 1950s. She turned down roles in Lyle Abner and Operation Petticoat, taking roles on Broadway and in Italian cinema and Hollywood. Among her more notable Italian film credits was the historical epic Garibaldi, directed by Roberto Rossellini, that concerned Garibaldi's efforts to unify the Italian states in 1860. When Louise returned to the United States, she began studying with Lee Strasberg and eventually became a member of the Actors Studio. She appeared in a 1962 episode of The Real McCoys, the Walter Brennan sitcom, and in the 1964 beach party film For Those Who Think Young, with Bob Denver, prior to the development of Gilligan's Island. In 1964, she left the Broadway musical Fade Out a Fade In to portray movie star Ginger Grant on the situation comedy Gilligan's Island, after the part was turned down by Jane Mansfield. However, she was unhappy with the role and worried that it would typecast her. The role did make Louise a pop icon of the era, and in 2005 an episode of TV Land Top 10 ranked her as second only to Heather Locklear as the greatest of television's all-time sex symbols. After the series ended in 1967, Louise continued to work in film and made numerous guest appearances in various television series. She appeared in the Matt Helm spy spoof The Wrecking Crew with Dean Martin. Louise played a doomed suburban housewife in the original The Stepford Wives, and both the film and her performance were well received. She attempted to shed her comedic image by essaying grittier roles, including a guest appearance as a pathetic heroin addict in a 1974 Kojak episode, as well as a co-starring role as an evil Southern prison guard in the 1976 ABC TV movie Nightmare in Bartham County. Her other television films of the period included Look What's Happened to Rosemary's Baby, SST, Death Flight, Friendships, Secrets and Lies, and in the primetime soap opera Dallas, during the 1978-79 seasons, as J.R. Ewing's secretary, Julie Gray, a semi-regular character. Her character was finally killed off. The question: Ginger or Mary Ann? is regarded to be a classic pop psychological question when given to American men of a certain age as an insight into their characters, or at least their desires as regarding certain female stereotypes. With the January 2014 death of Gilligan's Island co-star Russell Johnson, Louise and actress Dawn Wells are the only two surviving cast members of the original sitcom. Louise is quoted as saying, "The best movie you'll ever be in is your own life because that's what matters in the end." Later work, Louise declined to participate in any of 3 reunion television films for Gilligan's Island. She kept claiming that the show ruined her career. The role of Ginger was recast with Judith Baldwin and Constance Frislund. Although she did not appear in these television movies, she made brief walk-on appearances on a few talk shows and specials for Gilligan's Island reunions, including Good Morning America, The Late Show and the 2004 TV Land Award show with the other surviving cast members. In the 1990s, she was reunited with co-stars Bob Denver, Dawn Wells, and Russell Johnson in an episode of Roseanne. She did not reunite with them for the television film Surviving Gilligan's Island, co-produced by Wells. She was portrayed by Kristen Dalton in the television film. Her relations with series star Denver were rumored to be strained, but in 2005, she wrote a brief, affectionate memorial to him in the year-end farewell issue of Entertainment Weekly. In 1985, Louise played the second and final Taylor Chapin on the syndicated serial Rituals. Later film roles included a co-starring appearance in the Robert Altman comedy O.C. and Styx as well as the independently made satire Johnny Suede starring Brad Pitt. She appeared in Married with Children as Miss Beck in episode Kelly Bounces Back. As of 2014, Louise has returned to the acting world in the upcoming spiritual drama, Tapestry and the horror film Late Phases. Music: Louise made one record album, It's Time for Tina, which was released originally on Concert Hall in 1957, and later reissued on Urania Records. The album is sought after by collectors. With arrangements by Jim Timmons and Buddy Weed's orchestra, 12 tracks include Tonight Is the Night, and I'm in the Mood for Love. Coleman Hawkins is featured on tenor sax. The album has been reissued on CD twice, most recently on the UK label Harkett Records. The album was released on iTunes in 2012. Personal life: from 1966 to 1974, Louise was married to radio and TV announcer interviewer Les Crane, with whom she has one daughter, Caprice Crane, who became an MTV producer and a novelist. Crane's first novel, Stupid and Contagious, was published in 2006, and was warmly dedicated to her mother. Louise now resides in New York City. She is a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and a lifetime member of the Actors Studio. As a literacy and academic advocate, she became a volunteer teacher at Learning Leaders, a non-profit organization dedicated to providing tutoring to New York City school children. It has been her passion to help young students gain not only literary skills, but also confidence, self-determination and proof of their own potential. She has written 2 books, Sunday a Memoir and When I Grow Up. The latter is a children's book that inspires children to believe they can become whatever they choose through creative and humorous comparisons of Animal Kingdom achievements. She published a second children's book titled What Does a Bee Do? Filmography: film, television, stage work, Two's Company, the 5th season, John Murray Anderson's Almanac, Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter? Lyle Abner, Fade Out Fade In, References in Popular Culture. Tina Louise is one of 2 celebrities included among the many women's names listed in the B-52's 1979 song, 52 Girls, a song on the Dirt Bombs album. If you don't already have a look, is named Tina Louise. On the TV series Bob's Burgers, the family's 2 daughters are named, oldest to youngest, Tina and Louise. An Asian fusion restaurant in Carlstadt, New Jersey is named Tina Louise. References. External links: Tina Louise at the Internet Movie Database, Tina Louise at the Internet Broadway Database, Tina Louise at the TCM Movie Database, Tina Louise at AllMovie, Tina Louise on Twitter.